Once you begin a fantasy, you must see it through to its natural conclusion.
Nobody knew what you meant! Yeah!
Hello and welcome to the final podcast, the last podcast you will ever listen to. We are the creators of the Spooky Pit, the innovators of the Passion Bump, and we take you down the darkest rabbit holes of all things horror.
Welcome, spooky bitches, to Fantasy Island. We are your final bros, Brian Hotboy LaGrassa and Shane My Dick Looks Like a Jalapeno Smith, and we are joined as always by our Scream Queen and producer, Jen. Special guests, our ass-eating experts on the podcast. We'd love to have you, Dale. Welcome back.
It's a pleasure
Welcome
to be back.
Dale.
It is a pleasure,
It's a pleasure to see you.
Pleasure to eat some ass, baby.
Oh, yeah.
Let's do it.
Fresh out.
This
Let's
movie has no ass eating, sadly.
It's PG-13.
Yeah. Doesn't even have fucking passion.
No passion.
It's
No.
a passionless movie.
And there was like a woman named Chastity
Yeah.
who was not chaste. She was a chaste hole.
Oh, I like it. So this is a movie that I thought was okay, and Brian thought was terrible, and Dale thought was...
It was a miss.
For me,
It was a big miss.
I may have been
I
stronger
thought it was
with,
a miss too.
I may have been stronger with my words. I've seen worse. There's no doubt.
Yeah.
It was,
Oh,
it
yeah.
was less than mediocre for me.
Fair.
It could have been way
Agreed.
more.
You know
I would
what?
have liked it if it was rated R, honestly.
Well, yeah, because you might have got a good kill or something.
Exactly.
Instead, we're just going to jump into the Spooky Pit
We're
for this
gonna
one.
do
We're
that.
not going to bullshit here.
Okay, Fantasy Island was released in 2020. It's a fantasy horror. When Mr. Roarke invites lucky guests to his remote tropical island to live out their wildest fantasies, adventure turns to nightmare. This is directed by Jeff Wadlow, and it stars Michael Pena as Mr. Roarke, Maggie Q as Gwen Olsen, Lucy Hale as Melanie Cole, Austin Stowell as Patrick Sullivan, Jimmy O. Yang as Brax Weaver, Portia Dumbleday as Sloane Madison, Ryan Hansen as J.D. Weaver, and Michael Rooker as Damon. And I just want to, mention Michael Rooker. He's in this movie. What did they do to this man?
You say
No idea.
you don't like his character?
No, Shane, I do not. They took a
Can you tell me which character he is?
He's the guy, his daughter dies, he mentions,
Yeah.
and he's on the island because, he saw his daughter there, but his daughter turned out to be, something that she wasn't.
Oh, that guy.
He's
Yeah,
Mr.
he's
Machete
pointless.
P.I.
Yeah, he's the PI. That's a great way to say it. My problem with this guy is, he just is, wasn't good, and I'm like, this guy's a great actor.
Well, he's better than Lucy Hale.
Yes.
And he's better than that
I
other
feel
guy.
like Lucy Hale, we haven't watched a lot of good horror movies with her. What was the other one she was in?
Oh, Truth or Dare.
Truth or Dare?
None of them are good.
Yeah. No, they're not.
I have nothing against Lucy Hale personally,
No, me neither.
but she's fucking awful. Every time I see her in a movie.
The best actors and actors in this movie, I think I was mentioning it, I do like Mike Vogel, who plays Soldier's father.
Yeah.
And I like Maggie Q as Gwen. I think she's okay.
I actually didn't mind Michael Pena as Mr. Roarke.
I didn't. His accent
Oh, no. Yeah,
was a little missy to me.
but him himself, I thought he was fine.
Okay.
The brothers were terrible.
Both brothers were horrible. I think Sloane was okay.
Yeah, I mean, she for her role, she's fine.
She's the girl from Youth in Revolt. That's just the only thing.
Oh, I
remember.
didn't even know that.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, by far the worst characters are the two brothers, the soldier, the guy soldier, the guy who's on the island,
Patrick,
and Lucy
yeah.
Hale. Yeah, the four of them are just, woo.
I felt like all storylines kind of made you could tell what someone wanted in their fantasy. When the brothers' fantasy started, I was like, I have literally no idea.
So I also think this is a problem that I had, and you could totally think just tell me if I'm wrong here. I think this movie conflates a wish with a fantasy. They make them one and the same. And I think they're very different because he kept saying this is what you wish, and I think a wish is different than a fantasy.
Yes, I actually kind of
you're
agree
right.
with that.
Because for me, this is how a wish is a proclamation versus a fantasy is someone's passive desire. I think they're very different things.
Yeah.
But they keep saying wish and fantasy, and they blend both words, and they use them over and over in redundancy.
Mhm.
So I just think they're different.
No, I actually agree with you because I've seen both Wishmasters.
Yeah, exactly.
And that's not a fantasy. It's just a singular wish. Like a fantasy, I feel like is a long-term thing.
Yeah.
Where a wish is just like, I want money or something like that.
Yeah, exactly, Shane. Like a wish is like I wish I had millions of dollars.
Yes.
A fantasy is like I fantasize about having a threesome.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's different.
I try to use the words passive desire, exactly what you just mentioned.
Yeah. So we are all in agreement here. But are we in agreement that the movie opens with a girl running through the woods?
It's Portia Dumbledore's character, Sloane.
Yes.
But we'll just call her blonde girl at this point.
Yes, because she is there's the blonde girl. She runs into a house. She answers a phone that's ringing, and a voice says that she's one of the guests. She knows like who this is now, and then men burst in, grab her, and pull her away.
That's the open.
Yes, and that's just a cold open.
And again, like, fine, but this is a horror movie. Like, she does come back later in the story, but like, they carry her away, and that's the open. That is corny as fuck.
Yeah.
I don't know. That was just my take. Like,
if you're going for horror film, you gotta start it with a kill, right?
like, all right, if you're writing a journalism article, you need a catchy headline. You need a gripper. Like, every horror movie has a great like kill intro. This was just so weak for me.
Yeah.
So.
You're just getting carried away. Nothing special. I'm with you. I'm gonna feel like while we talk, hate the movie. I just realized that as we're right talking right now. So we then see like this beautiful island, and we see a plane arrive at the island, and a man is telling his staff, "Smile. We have to look nice." I think we meet the hostess. Her name is Julia.
Yeah, Julia.
And then a bunch of guests come out of the plane, and they're greeted by Julia, and she says people will take them to their rooms.
So the only things that we expect from you guys is to enjoy your time here, live out your fantasies, and then just give us like that 5-star review when you get back home.
Yeah, 5 stars on Apple Podcast, all that good stuff.
all that good stuff.
You guys notice how like when they arrive and they get off the plane, how like if you normally go to an island, like the staff is just all happy, welcome, you know, you're in paradise, but like none of the staff was smiling.
Yeah, she looked like she was giving like a fake smile introduction. I did notice that right off the bat.
They said they don't need money here.
Yeah, they don't need money here. And Meredith.
Did you write Meredith?
No, I wrote Melanie.
Oh. Why'd you think it was Meredith? Because I accidentally wrote Meredith at one point in my notes.
No, she Portia Dumbledore's character used to call her Meredith.
That's right. Okay.
The one that wants instant drinks when she steps off the plane.
Yeah. She just makes snarky ass comments from the get-go. She actually makes it the first comment. The one who smelt it dealt it.
So, we're on the island now. We actually see fucking Michael Rooker looking on from the woods.
Yeah.
Just watching them with his machete, as Dale pointed out. The man has a machete the whole movie. Julia, like, welcomes them, and as she leaves, blood starts to come out of her nose. So, she's already dying, I guess. Gwen, she thinks she sees something in the mirror when they're all getting drinks, almost like a burned man.
Yeah, it looks like a man that's been like, he's actually just looks like just a guy that's just like pieces of flesh ripping off his body. He's completely tar colored.
Yeah,
black.
he looks like a steak that's been left on the grill way too long.
Not the kind of steak you'd get at Longhorn.
No.
It's a nice steak.
No, or like Chris Ruth, or if my brother's cooking a steak.
Yeah.
Those are good steaks. Those are all good steaks.
Good steaks, man.
You know, they're having some drinks. We meet the brothers. So the brothers are stepbrothers?
Yes.
Or adopted, because one is a white guy and one's Asian.
He's not adopted. The white guy's dad married the Asian guy's mom.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah, I missed that detail.
And Brax is gay, and the parents like disowned him or something.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's correct.
Yeah.
They disowned him because he was gay.
So here's my thing with Brax is the Asian guy.
And you know what's
Yes,
weird?
Brax is the Asian
They were
guy.
trying to like facilitate a storyline of the college thing early because he kept calling him like T or some kind of weird nickname, and he's like, "Stop calling me that nickname."
Yeah.
I don't like that. I'm like,
I'll explain that later on in the movie. Brax, here's my thing with him. He was in the show Silicon Valley.
was he really?
Yeah. As JT Miller's like roommate. And he's fucking hilarious in that show. But he's so awful in this movie. I just don't get it.
I don't even think it's him. I think it's just a really bad script.
Yeah, because like he is funny. I've seen him be funny.
Yeah, like, I don't know. I feel like the script was bad. I feel like it was even bad for the guy that was supposed to be the comic relief of this movie, JD or whatever.
Yeah.
Didn't hit.
Just didn't.
Really didn't.
Like I never really laughed when JD was like trying to be funny.
No,
No.
like that's the kind of thing where you just feel like you dick should get ripped off.
Oh my God.
Big facts.
So Mr. Roarke is going to come in and he talks to the group and tells the two brothers their fantasy is about to start now.
That's true.
Do you like how I said that?
I do.
I told you I was gonna have accents.
I like that.
Yeah,
I like
thank
that,
you.
yeah.
So they just go to this giant party in the woods.
Yeah, so essentially they're going to show JD and Brax's, I mean, technically, theoretically, it's JD's fantasy.
Yeah,
but-
because it's not Brax's fantasy. This party, though, is the perfect party because it has two things every party needs. And I'm not talking about weed. I'm talking about tight dudes and hot chicks.
There we go. Amen to that, brother. That is exactly right. And I'm happy we got that. And it's because, like, he obviously goes right towards the hot chicks, but Brax is gay, so he's going to the tent of hot dudes.
Yeah, they got a real smoke show. Alejandro.
It's going to take care of Brax.
That's actually one of my favorite parts of the movie because he just walks into the tent and he just sees big weed just ready for him, all laid out.
So his fantasy is... Yeah, JD's fantasy is you want to have everything you would ever want, which is a ginormous party in the woods.
Yeah, no, I guess his fantasy is a mansion with hot chicks and tight dudes, but like, that's so boring.
Yeah.
Yeah, right? Like, that's a fantasy to you? That could just be a Saturday night.
Yeah, you could just go to like a club somewhere in like a tropical island.
He wants to be the Great Gatsby.
Yeah, I guess his fantasy is just to be the man, since it's like everyone does flock to him, despite them all turning on him later on in the movie.
Yep.
But actually, I guess it makes sense in terms of how this movie sucks. Okay, let's keep going. The one brother, Brax, actually, he then sees a flash of the burned man in this scene as well. And he's like, yo, this weed be hitting.
Yeah, that would be Amsterdam Kush, dude.
Yeah, no, you know.
Where is the... They don't tell you where the island is, right?
No, they don't give you any deals
In
about
your
that.
fantasy, it's a guaranteed loud pack.
Loudy.
We then see Maggie Q go to talk to Mr. Roarke. I feel like this is something that should have been done before she got to the island.
I also feel like this is erroneous. That's why I didn't like this whole part.
Yeah, because he's like, describe to me your fantasy. And she's like, what? He's like, what is your greatest mistake? If you had one chance to do it all over again, what would it be?
Because her fantasy was she wants to redo something.
Yeah.
And then he starts asking her questions, like her dating profile. Like,
Well, it's like, and I also feel like that should be done before. You should. I thought the whole point of Fantasy Island is you show up and your fantasy's there already for you, not like this man has to do a fucking. I strongly
checklist.
agree. I strongly disagree questionnaire.
and that is why this is a humongous writing flaw in the movie. This is just to bring back a story later that should not happen. This whole storyline should not be in the movie. It's good. You need it for the movie, but I'm saying it should not have been written like this.
I'm lowering my overall point.
Oh, you're talking about
by the end of this.
You're talking about the part with the restaurant now? It's,
Yeah, it's because like we know how this movie shakes out. We're gonna explain it, but like Shane said exactly right. If this was a cohesive movie, everybody already has their preset fantasy.
Yeah.
Hers is a redo. He's confused, so now he has to like jot down some stuff to draw up the fantasy. Like,
because I feel like it also makes no sense. Like, the spoiler is it's not all their fantasy. It's one singular person's fantasy. But then wouldn't all this already be established already? Like, why would they even have to do this? None of this should even be happening.
And especially later on when you find out how the island actually works, it's like he doesn't need to do that.
I also have another question that really, really just like bothered me with this movie. Do you remember when they show like the part, we're gonna get there, where they show like their deepest, darkest desires in the pit, and she looks at it and it's her with that girl, Sloane's character, and Sloane's character, you know, she's getting like getting revenge on her. Wouldn't it be the entire fantasy this is about?
It's such a plot hole. Also, even at the end, like when Sloane gets the one up on Lucy Hale, like I doubt that's still her deepest desire for that. That's just what she wants in the moment, which is once again a wish, not a fantasy.
100%. That's what this is, like the conflict I had with this movie, but we'll get there.
Oh, you got me heated up. I like it. I like it.
Shane's anger is burning.
I'm loving it.
I got energy.
I'm loving
baby.
the steam just coming off the dome.
Okay, so Gwen is going to go into her fantasy because, I like you said, she's good because her fear, her confusion is all very well portrayed in this scene. When she opens the door, basically, and it goes to the restaurant, her deepest regret is saying no to her fiance's proposal.
Yeah.
Well, her boyfriend's proposal.
Her logic behind it is that she didn't deserve it.
Yes. Which I do get. Some people have that mindset. It's like, I'm shit. I'm the worst. I don't deserve good things.
Oh, yeah.
Also, something happens before she walks through the door, which is a little bit of a theme in this movie.
Blood?
The blood that's seeping through like the walls or like the ceiling.
That's right.
Good call.
It is a good call. She's confused. She sits down. She's talking to Alan, which is her boyfriend that she no longer. She hasn't seen him in 5 years. Also, this is 5 years after she said no to the proposal, and she's like, "Wow, I can't believe they like flew you all the way over here." Like, but it's not actually him, since it's a fantasy. He's living the day she said no, like it's a normal day. So they're in two different timelines, so she's confused. But like both her and him play this scene very well.
Oh yeah, definitely. But the scene is big bugging.
Yeah. Big bugging.
Well, no, yeah, because the scene shouldn't be in the movie anyway.
Yeah.
But
isn't like this the part where like she actually leaves, wants to go talk to Roarke?
Yes, she does leave the table.
Yeah, but I think we cut. Don't we cut to Lucy Hale first?
We might. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And she's with Patrick. Patrick's the soldier.
Yes.
He's a soldier.
And they're like talking about like when their fantasies are going to start. And Lucy Hale's like, "Oh well, as a kid, I was bullied, and like I've always wanted to get revenge." And then we learn that Patrick wants to be a soldier. How is your fantasy to be in the army? Just fucking sign up.
Yeah, I know. It's ridiculous.
There wasn't something preventing him from going to the army.
He was
right?
a cop. He mentioned that he was a cop.
I thought it was his mom or something.
Was it? I mean,
I think like when he's talking to Lucy Hale, he says that like his mom didn't want him to go in or something.
which is fair because we learn about his dad. But also, he's kind of a giant pussy.
He is a ginormous
I mean, I'm not
pussy.
going to argue with you.
We'll find out. But yeah, he's a huge pussy.
Yeah.
Definitely doesn't have tight cock energy.
No. This man's cock is so flaccid.
This man's had at least 2 opportunities in this movie for a hot passion bomb.
You're absolutely right.
And he just doesn't realize
off the
it.
plane, he immediately starts talking to Gwen.
Yeah.
And the scene, like you said, with
Melanie, when they're at the bar talking and all that, she's double fisting.
Yeah.
That's great. Like, yeah, this man just doesn't know how to use a penis.
No.
It's a real shame. So they take Lucy Hale to an elevator. I'm just going to keep calling her Lucy Hale.
That's fine.
They take her to an elevator, and she goes down the elevator, and we realized we were watching the movie Hostel.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. She thinks she's like seeing a hologram at first. She mentions it's a hologram of Sloane, and Sloane is the woman that you saw running in the beginning. She's the girl that bullied her in the past, and she's like in a chair, bound to a chair. And she does mention earlier, there's a scene where she mentions Sloane and the bullying that we heard before in more detail with Patrick, that she used to see a therapist, and the therapist she used to call Dr.
Torture?
Dr. Torture, yeah. Because he kept talking so much and she just wanted to stitch his mouth shut.
Oh, and that's why this guy...
Yeah. And also, the suggestion of the doctor to get like her like sanctity back in life was to write letters to everybody that she had problems with. Problem was those letters were intercepted by Sloane. Sloane posted them everywhere so everybody could see them, and she was humiliated.
Yeah,
that's why she wants revenge.
This is a problem even before we start talking and making me hate the movie that I had with the movie. So she's going to like electrocute Sloane, dump toilet water on Sloane. She's going to post Sloane cheating on her husband on Facebook and make the husband see it and like just ruin Sloane's life.
Also, like, why would you record yourself cheating on your husband?
I feel like everyone does if it's a movie. Like, if you're cheating on your husband and not recording it in a movie, you're doing something wrong, right? Yeah. It's the same thing we will talk about in the future about people skinny dipping.
Very, very, very true. Just common movie trope that doesn't
actually happen.
Yep.
Like, no sane person is going to be like, I'm going to cheat on my husband. Let me film it just in case. But yeah, so this is my biggest problem with this whole thing. We've already talked about it. Lucy Hale's the villain. The whole thing is her getting revenge on a bunch of people. But we're supposed to not like Lucy Hale because she's crazy. But she's crazy because Sloane is such a horrible person. Like, I don't ever feel bad for Sloane in this movie. Because it's not even like, okay, she was a kid, she bullied her, she got better. No, she was a kid, she bullied her, and then grew up and cheated on her husband.
Yeah.
So it's like...
Yep. And she does explain her logic later, too. That, like, oh, she was in a dark place, and he pushed her away, so she cheated. There's no excuse. You're scum.
So talk to him.
Yeah.
Or break up with him. I never understand that mindset.
Yeah, no, me neither. Scum.
Yeah, Lucy Hale, like, she electrocutes him, does the cheating thing. And then this is when Lucy Hale...
She does the cheating thing.
Yeah.
But do you notice how she actually does all this? With the presses of random fucking buttons.
Yeah. Like, she knows what... Yeah.
Like, these buttons on this, like, old-ass fucking control grid. She just picks them, and whichever ones, they're just red and green buttons, and then all this stuff happens.
And then, like, with the guy that came in to continue torturing Sloane...
Dr. Torture.
Dr. Torture, right? He's a savage, by the way, in this movie because
Yeah.
like he's a savage.
Imagine him in bed.
Savagery.
You would have to be the submissive one, Bri.
Oh, definitely. But yeah, with his like little hand drill he has.
Like you were saying, Lucy Hale's just pressing buttons and she's performing these insane combos on Dr. Torture.
Seriously,
She's
bro.
hitting him with toilet water into the electricity into the.
Oh my
Those
God.
fucking
like-
A+ combos and Devil May Cry over here.
Oh my God. We actually don't get to that yet. Lucy Hale actually, after she posts the video to Facebook, realizes that's actually Sloane there because that's when the husband like makes the phone call and like all that stuff. So she realizes it's real. Before we get to Dr. Torture though, we cut back to Patrick who just gets dropped into the woods.
Yep.
And Michael Rooker here, he tries to warn him. He's like, this is all like real.
Yeah,
Like
his
you have to be careful.
Name is
And
Damon.
that's when the soldiers take Patrick. Then we cut back to the Super Smash Bros, who are just one guy's talking to Chastity, and the guy's like, "Yeah, I was banging Chastity all night.
I know.
I was like left and right. I was like bang,
Twice, bro. And Braxton's like, Chastity, come on over.
bang." Yeah, this is actually kind of funny.
Come on over, Chastity.
And
She's
then
like, just hearing about this like wild night you guys had last night. She's like, yeah, and wild you mean JD crying.
she's like, "He cried over Jenny all night."
That was what his ex-girlfriend.
Yeah,
right?
and that's another storyline. Irrelevant.
Irrelevant.
Honestly, like, could have done without it.
Yeah.
Was really annoyed.
They
it
only
was
bring
there.
it. They literally only bring it back at one point in the movie,
To kill him.
just to kill, just to be like Eureka, and then you're dead.
Yeah,
Like,
they
that's
fucking
it.
hank him. Breaking Bad reference.
Oh, let me know if I'm bugging real quick.
Let's
with
let's
this.
hear it. The big bugging like a bug.
When Chastity when she gets up after she's done talking to them, she walks on the pool. She's walking on water. Is that like the level of the pool?
It might,
like
be, it might be like one of those things. Were people in the pool or no? 'Cause I think
people were in the pool
Oh.
and she was just walking across the pool on water.
It could have been a low end of.
I wonder if it's like one of those things where it's like half of it is like a layer.
That's
of
what I was
like-
thinking, and then it goes into an actual pool.
Yeah.
I don't go in fancy pools. I don't know.
I also don't go into fantasy pools.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's a good point. What would your guys' fantasy be on the island?
Yeah, I actually thought about that when I was watching this
Yeah.
movie. Like, but here's the thing: I feel like it seems like they had to tell Roarke these things beforehand, which is like I feel like it's a little bit of a miss because I feel like if it's a fantasy island, you'd have to bring it out of you.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah,
I'm trying to think, like, what would my fantasy be? It would be boring. It'd just be like, I don't know. I
don't know.
It would be
Yeah.
pretty boring.
I feel like it would pop up once I walked through the door, and I would experience what my
Like-
actual true fantasy is.
Yes, I actually like that. Like, you don't even know. Your subconscious knows almost what
Yes.
your
I
fantasy
feel-
is.
That's what I thought
I
this movie
feel
was
like
going
mine
to
would
be.
just be getting to travel somewhere.
Maybe. I mean, I think mine would be kind of like what JD's was, except without all of the girls, just a nice fucking acres of
House,
property.
yeah. That, I like that.
I know what my fantasy would be. My fantasy would be that I never have to work again.
That's also
Nah,
fantastic.
That's a good one.
So we're going to cut back to Gwen and Alan and their dinner, and he goes to propose again, and this time she says yes.
Woo!
She
She said-
accepts it.
She says yes.
This is like we said, this is where it gets confusing because it just keeps going back and forth quickly.
So quick.
Because now we cut back to the brothers and they're dressing and they're swagging up and they open a door and they just find a panic room.
Jodie Foster Panic Room.
Yep. Where's Kristen Stewart?
Jared Leto.
Yep. Great movie. Actually, is that a horror?
It's like a thriller. We could probably sneak it in.
I like that.
Yeah, it's
That's a
good.
really good movie.
Panic room with guns and grenades.
Yeah, the armory has everything. It's actually a pretty lit armory.
Pretty dope.
So the brothers, like, they just start going outside to play with grenades.
Now, they take the grenade, JD unpins it, throws it in that. What is that?
It's a baseball machine.
Baseball launcher. I would not throw a grenade in there. I feel
No,
like,
because if it's not shaped like a baseball, it would most likely probably just fall right through. Because it's like perfectly shaped, so a baseball drops in, and the baseball gets launched.
He did that
A
pretty
grenade
quick.
might not like launch like a baseball. I would assume it wouldn't actually.
yeah, he did that pretty quick. I was like, ugh. I don't think you would do that with a grenade.
I would do a test run without the pin pull just to see if it works.
I wouldn't lie to you. I wouldn't mind throwing a grenade.
Oh yeah, like
Yeah,
just throwing a grenade.
They're not like living the joy of actually just tossing a grenade over your shoulder.
Yeah.
You know, and just seeing the explosion afterwards. I would rather just throw it than put it in a baseball
100%,
machine.
Yeah.
Frag out.
Nice.
Yeah, Gears of War reference.
Yeah. If you didn't do it, I would have done it.
Good. Okay. They put the grenade, like we said. Then we cut back to Patrick with the soldiers that are escorting him. He meets the LT.
The LT.
LT notices that Patrick has dog tags with the LT's name on it.
He's like, why's your name on my dog tags?
It's like, what's going on here? Hey.
Oh my God.
And then they all start to get shot at.
Yeah.
And Patrick gets shot in the arm. We cut again. Now
Yeah.
we see Lucy Hale, and she sees, as we were talking about, Dr. Torture. He comes in. He's like gonna like start killing her. Lucy Hale demands he cuts off her ring finger first.
Yeah.
And then as one of the two of you described it as she has the perfect MacGyver plan to like get this man off of Sloan.
Yeah, so he goes, and I guess he touches and contracts the metal, which conducts the electricity. So when she hits the button, he just gets electrocuted. Yeah, what button would do that? How would she know? Who knows?
I don't know. She's just a master. She knows everything.
But yeah, she ends
I
up.
mean, she used them earlier, so.
She electrocutes Dr. Torture, and I think you get a shot from the point of view of Sloan, and you see glass break.
Yes. And this is Lucy Hale rescuing Sloan and being like, yeah, I don't know how I got here either. We're both prisoners on this island, which is fair. You would have to do that, actually.
Sign Melanie up for the next Street Fighter tournament.
Oh, my God.
Is this the point in time, or is it a little later when she's like, who would do this? Would it be that stalker girl?
I think it's the next time they're together when they cut to them outside.
Why would she make that call?
I don't know.
Do you know what I mean? Like, why would she think it's that person?
Why not?
Because, like, it's got to be, like, years later, right?
Yeah, dude.
So,
The conversation starts by being like, I don't even know how the conversation got, so we went to the same school. But then it got to, well, it would have to be someone we both know from school. And then that's who she opted to.
yeah. We could talk about that in a second, because I just got to go through one quick scene, and it actually cuts back to it. We cut back to the brothers. Alejandro gets shot in the head. And this is when the fucking Colombian cartel just like...
I think it's the Russian cartel,
I
dude.
think it is Russian.
Yeah.
Is it Russian? Okay.
Kalashev's men.
Yes.
They're like, it's Kalashev's men. Who the fuck is Kalashev?
And they start to run after he gets shot in the head. They go to the bedroom and they call Roarke. That's what it is. And this is when he does the line, you have to see your fantasies to its natural conclusion. And he just hangs up on them. Then we cut back to Sloan and Melanie. They're walking through the woods. And this is where she brings up, do you think it's that stalker girl from high school?
Yeah. And she's like, I think her name is Meredith.
Yep.
But she's like, I'm Melanie, not Meredith.
Oh, God. Then the man, Dr. Hostel,
He comes back.
he comes back. He
Oh, yeah.
attacks. He gets stabbed, though, through the chest by Michael Rooker, saving them.
Yeah, right fucking through the chest. Out of nowhere. And they're like, who the hell are you?
Well, like I said, we just keep cutting. It's like, then we go back to Gwen, and now Gwen has a nightmare about the burned man again when she realizes she's now next to her fiance. Then we cut back to Peter, and Peter has a nightmare of the burned man choking him, and he wakes up with the soldiers. Then he talks to the LT.
You mean
He
Patrick, right?
Yeah,
Patrick.
Patrick. His last name's Sullivan, Patrick Sullivan.
No,
so.
but you said Peter.
Oh, did I say Peter? I meant Patrick, sorry. They talk, and this is where he learns it's his dad, which we go through the whole thing where his dad died in Venezuela on a mission by jumping on a grenade to save his squad.
Yeah, his dad basically pulls him to the side. Is this where they go through like the reasons like he would prove to him that he is his?
Yes.
Yeah, I think this is when they're walking in the water, like on the river, right?
Correct.
And he's like, well, like, prove it. And he's like, the nickname I had for you. And he's like, Patch. He's like, wrong. And he's like, Ali. He goes, and he tells him he was born 4 months premature. He said that I was a fighter.
Yeah.
That's why you gave me the nickname.
So why'd he say the wrong nickname to start?
I don't know where Patch comes in.
Yeah, I don't know.
At all.
Literally no idea.
It must have been something else. Maybe his dad called him.
It's possible.
But Venezuela, he's reporting to tomorrow.
Yes, we do learn he's reporting to Venezuela tomorrow on a classified mission. And then we cut back to Gwen, and she's once again like just living her fantasy. She's been married for 5 years now. She has a daughter.
I like this fantasy 5-year hop.
Yeah.
He's just casually talking about it. He's like, well, it's been 5 years. She's like, what?
Sick time skip movie.
Yeah.
I have a daughter now? Like,
Yeah, like
this is everything I ever wanted.
I love it. Like I always wanted to have a daughter and not remember raising her for 5 years.
Yeah.
It's actually the best part of having a kid.
Like
So-
your kid?
Yes, didn't raise her for 5 years. It's crazy.
So this is my difference here with her storyline. This to me is her fantasy,
Yes.
but how she does her redo whole stupid plot would be a wish. She would wish to take that
Yeah.
back.
It's so wild. So Mr. Roarke talks to Gwen, and he's like, the island has brought his wife back. So this is where Roarke opens up that as long as he stays on this island, his wife will always be with him. And that's when I think, Dale, you were saying, like, this is when you start to piece together, like, what he meant by that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think like this is like from what I'm saying, like he has to control or like he has to make sure that all of these fantasies happen in order to sustain him and his wife
Like
being together.
Being together, yeah, for sure.
Which I still don't like fully understand how that works. I don't think they
You know
really
what-
fully explain
You know
it.
what I thought was going to happen based on that explanation? Because I hadn't seen this movie before this. I thought that meant that he has to bring people on the island so they can continue to see their fantasies to fruition, but then the fantasy will kill them and the island will claim them. I thought that's what was going to happen.
No, I agree with you, Jen, in that sense. But I think he has to constantly pump people through the island to live out their fantasy so that his wife can keep staying around.
It's like a cyclical thing.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that would make sense.
That's why I guess Mr. Roarke calls himself like the head of the island, you know?
True.
Because like...
My only problem with it, I think both of you guys are on the money. I just think that like it's not theoretically explained how that sustains his wife.
Oh, it's true.
Agreed.
That's true. I agree.
They don't explain it at all. We then cut back to Patrick in the river. This is the actual river scene where his dad's leaving because his dad is like, I want to stay alive for my son. They have a fight in the river and he's able to convince him to stay. He's like, you were a hero. You were my hero growing up and you can't change that.
Yeah, I really don't like the acting from this guy in this movie. The way he talks, and he's just like overacting more than he should be.
Yeah.
It just doesn't come off as organic.
No, yeah. You're absolutely right.
Is this the scene, don't get me wrong, where they actually get into a little tussle in the river?
Yes.
Yeah.
So like the father mentions something like he believes him now. He doesn't want to go to Venezuela.
Yeah.
He wants to leave, and he makes it. He's like, look, I don't want to be here out, whatever. I just want to go home to my son.
Yeah.
Kind of deal. So like he wants to leave, and they get into like a little tussle, and then he pulls a gun on him.
Yeah, and he convinces him to stay. We then cut to the two brothers who are now being interrogated about Kalishaw's money and Kalishaw's gold or whatever. They tell Kalishaw that the money is downstairs in the garage, so he takes Brax with him to go find it. We then cut back to Gwen, who's on the beach with her family, and she leaves them to make things right. She goes to Mr. Roarke, and this is where she asks for a wish.
Well, doesn't she go to Julia first? Am I mistaken or no?
Does she go to Julia first?
Because she's like, I want to redo.
You're right. She does go to Julia.
That was in like Gwen's room or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and then she's like, Mr. Roarke has to grant you that. She's like, I got the wrong redo. That's what she said. What she wished is my problem. She wished for a redo.
Yeah.
But it was the wrong redo.
Yes. Because she does go to Roarke, though, here,
Yes,
because she asks him, and he declines her the first time. And he just looks at his snake ring.
Yeah, he keeps like pulling on the ring. You're absolutely right.
There's like a hidden power to this ring we learn nothing about.
Yeah, that's so true.
Oh, yeah. That's facts. The next scene is like they cut back to Melanie, and then they're following the Machete Man into the cave. And he looks like he's kind of lost going through this cave. You know?
He is. And it's so funny because he's like supposed to know everything. And he's like, he has no clue what he's doing.
They show Sloane walking around, and then you see like this figure behind her. It's like a dark, like shadowy figure.
It's Shadow Sloane.
It's her doppelganger.
Yeah.
And it's a
It's like
doppelganger.
in fucking Zelda 2 where Link's fighting Shadow Link.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, but important thing that happens, though, is Melanie looks at her phone, and it's a picture of her and a guy.
Right before she enters the cave.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Which, that whole storyline is going to be fun to talk about. Sloane gets separated. Like she said, the spooky girl behind her. They have to walk into the water, and there's just sea snakes everywhere.
Yeah.
Pond snakes.
Gotta be careful for those sea snakes. You don't want to get bit by a sea snake.
No, they're very poisonous. Then Melanie thinks she sees the burned man as well, so everyone is seeing this burned man. This is where they find the well. We learn of the well's power.
Yeah, so then this is like when they're all looking at it. Like she looks at it, and this is when Damon explains like this is your deepest darkest desire. This is the source. You look at it, and it's like it actually shows like a vision of the fantasy. So like Lucy Hale's character looks at it, and you see her torture, and that's what she knows is like that's your fantasy. But before then, you see her fantasy though, Sloane's is to be back with her husband, and she's like, "Oh, you want to be back with your husband?" Then
That's stupid.
Then they see Lucy Hale's, and it's just like, "You bitch."
Yeah, that's right. That's where Sloane learns that like Melanie was a guest.
Yeah, and this is like I said, this is my problem because if
we would have saw what Melanie's actual plan was here.
Correct.
Which this scene's so avoidable because you could just not have them go to this, and Michael Rooker could just tell them about it.
100% agree.
What, with the cave?
Yeah. This movie could have been better in a lot of ways, Also rated R would have been better.
Yeah.
It's also a remake of a previous TV show I found out.
Which is what I was going to explain about Brax later on.
Okay.
Yeah. So then Michael Rooker gives Melanie a canteen of fantasy water, as I'm going to call it. And he says, you have to get this canteen off the island and prove to the FBI what's going on here. He's like, I even got a plane waiting for you. You just got to go and call this number.
Yeah, and tell him that like Damon needs the plane or
Yeah.
something. Apparently, they would not let him back anywhere near the facility. Rourke would not let him back, but like they'll know them so they can go back.
Yeah.
He's a PI after all.
Gwen talks about how like a man burned alive in her place and it was her fault.
Yeah.
And she feels guilty, and that's like her one moment that she wants to redo the most.
It seems like this would have happened before the marriage thing happened. Like this
Yeah.
should have been the redo that she
Yeah.
got.
Because that's the reason she doesn't give into the marriage, is because of this. This is like her PTSD.
Yeah. I don't deserve to be here.
Yeah.
Because I literally let a man
Die. Exactly.
This whole stuff with Gwen is so annoying because she keeps going back to Mr. Rourke and like she keeps like wanting to redo her fantasy over. Like, how many times you want to do this?
Do you think that she needed a good dick in off the plane from Patrick the soldier?
Yes.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Would you be eating that Maggie Q ass?
I think about it.
Yes.
Okay, let's go.
Boy, the passion bump that.
It's the only passion you're getting.
Yep.
Passion bump. Passion bump. Passion bump. My G.
So this is all going down.
In the DM.
And
Our quota for the
by
episode.
going down, she now goes back through the fantasy doors.
Yeah.
She's going to the fantasy suites in the Bachelorette. It's crazy. She's going through the doors. Now she's just in a building that's on fire.
It literally just like burning from the ceiling caving away on her.
Yeah. This is where we're going to learn a lot. Basically, we see the two brothers running out of the building.
She's like, JD? Brax?
Yeah. And they're like, lady, get out.
I think they cross paths on the stairs, right?
Yes. She runs outside and she goes to get a cop to help because she knows a man is burning alive above her. The cop is Patrick, and he's like, no, I need to wait for backup.
Yeah, he's scared.
It's way too dangerous.
He
Pussy.
also, like, she said the fire was caused by her tea kettle that she forgot, but does she get let into her apartment? Because her apartment should have been on fire.
You know, her apartment was where she starts. That's on fire. But now you even brought that up. Would her fantasy just not to be to save him from the fire, but not to just take the kettle off?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or never make tea. Like, but then again, this is the difference. This is like that whole thing about wishing and fantasy. There's just they made it out to be a wish, and a fantasy is not a wish. It's so stupid.
Yeah.
Really fucking dumb.
So I watched this movie with my girlfriend Katie, and she pointed something out at this scene when Gwen went to go talk to Patrick to ask him for help. Remember earlier on, like Patrick said, like he could have saved someone and he didn't. I think it was to his father, and his father was like, "Don't be a hero." I feel like that refers back to this scene.
Probably.
It does.
When
yeah.
that person in the fire is this person he could have
Oh,
saved.
yeah, 100%. And that's what I'm saying. Like, this man's fantasy is to be in the army, to be a hero, but he could have just been a hero, and he didn't. So, like, I don't know. His character angers me. So since no one's helping, she actually goes to help Nick herself, but starts to pass out from the flames. And that's the end of her fantasy for now, because we're going to cut back to Brax.
If you like a lot of quick cuts, you'll love this movie.
Yeah, because it just keeps happening.
Yeah.
There's
so
no,
much.
like, and Brax is being brought to the garage by Kalishaw, but he distracts them and runs into the armory. And this is when he just blasts one.
He mentioned something about like because he's talking to Kalashov outside the
Yep.
door, I believe. And he's like, "Me, Alejandro." He's like, "Who's Alejandro?" And he just shoots him.
Oh,
with
wait,
the gun.
actually, he doesn't even shoot the guy yet. We cut. Sick. I know. So, yeah, that scene is Brax run into the garage, cut. We then see Rooker, Sloan, and Melanie get attacked by the hostile man, and Michael Rooker tackles him off of a cliff.
Yeah, he literally just spears him off of a cliff to save them. Maybe he views them as like his daughter or something. This is some redemption. He literally takes him off a cliff. And the only thing I could think of, yeah, Madurango, number 95. You get where I was going?
Yeah, it's Edge.
Yeah, there you
Edge.
go,
He
there we
spears
go.
him right off.
Yeah, exactly.
I knew exactly what you meant, man.
I love that he did that. Just speared him off the court.
It was actually
It was actually
hilarious.
freaking hilarious.
It was. I'm like
Okay.
hilarious. Okay.
By the way, cut. Now we're back to Patrick and his dad and the soldiers storming the casa, which we now know is Brax and JD's fantasy. Cut. Now Brax is there and he shoots the guy with the shotgun and he comes out holding the grenade.
Say hello to my little friend.
Oh my god.
Cut. No, it's wild. It just keeps like moving. But this is when Patrick then sees Brax holding the grenade and walking Kalishaw and his men out. And he's like, oh, God, this is the grenade my dad is going to fall on.
Exactly. So he's looking out for.
Cut. Because then the other U.S. Army guys now are shown, and they go upstairs and they shoot the other Russian gang members, and they save JD and they save the models. And JD's like, oh, thanks, Chastity.
He does call her a chasshole at some point, but it's earlier the panic.
It is, right? Yeah, he's like, hey, let me in, chasshole, or something like that.
And mind you, all these people that got shot, or like all these people that you see dying, they cut to their face and they're bleeding from their eyes.
Yeah,
it's
every
like
time.
black.
I think they pop out blood, like black blood.
It's black blood because the movie's not rated R, and you can't burst eyes with red blood in a rated PG-13 movie.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, it'd be too gory. It would get an R. Cut. Now we're back downstairs, and now they shoot all the people, and they have a little like scuffle for the grenade, but they're able to catch it, and the grenade does not go off. We actually don't cut. We're in the same scene.
Yeah, you're right. No, so the grenade doesn't go off, and I think there's a moment between Patrick and his father.
Yes.
And he's like, that would have been the grenade that you fell on.
Exactly. And then
That's why you're my hero.
Exactly. It's beautiful. Oh, so beautiful. This is when JD comes down with the models. He's like,
Here it is.
he's like, oh my God, we survived. I can't wait to call Jenny. Shot in the back.
The woman of my life. I need to get back with Jenny. Literally shot. Isn't it shot right through the chest?
Through the chest. Dead.
Dead, and then you see like there's more guys are coming.
Yeah.
And I think they're having a shootout, right? And they're shooting.
All the soldiers were getting murdered here.
But the thing's like when they're shooting them back, they're taking these bullets and they're not going down.
No, because now they've transcended. You are a zombie.
Yeah.
So I thought the dad was going to have a heroic scene. Just get shot.
He gets shot 100 times. Patrick's like, no.
Big dead.
That's it.
That's it. Scene's over. Cut. We're back to Melanie and Sloan, and they realize they can phone Sloan's husband in the torture room, and that way they could tell him to call the plane guy for them, since none of the phones work on the island. And it works.
Yeah. She has to explain herself to her husband. She's like, listen, she's like, I love you. We were in a bad place. You were pulling away from me. She's like, listen, I love you, but I just need you to do one thing for me. I need you to call, and she gives like some random guy's name. She's like, oh, here we go again. And he's like, no, but like, trust me, and say that Damon needs the plane.
The husband, he's probably like, you fucking him too?
Yeah, right.
You fucking the plane driver?
I feel like he's like, you know what? All right, all is forgiven.
Yeah.
It just seemed like he was just like the way he was taking this. I feel like somebody would be more angry. Like if someone I knew cheated on me, I wouldn't be that okay with doing what you said, even if what she's saying, like I wouldn't care.
Yeah.
Be like, fucking hang up, deal with it. But it's a movie.
This was a dumb movie.
It was. It was. We then cut back to Gwen. Julia is pulling her out of the fire room. That's the scene. We cut again to Patrick and Brax coming off the elevator to meet with Sloan and Melanie. So now the four of them are together.
Reunited. You know what's interesting though? There is one part that we didn't mention. There's a blend of fantasies, and they call it out. They're like, why are we in the same fantasy?
Fantasies, yeah.
'Cause, when Patrick merged with the JD and Brax crew.
It's very weird. This is when they're starting to put pieces together.
Then they run into Mr. Roarke, and then like they realize that it's a revenge fantasy for Nick.
Yes, because
Gwen figures it out.
yeah, well Gwen's like, we were here to be someone else's fantasy because of Nick dying in the fire. I believe this is when they all figure out they're like, JD and Brax were Nick's roommates, and they didn't think Nick was home. They thought he was on a date with a girl.
Like I think JD was supposed to go get him. Brax said he was in there with a girl.
Yes.
And like he made JD like leave.
Yeah.
They left.
They start to think that Julia is Nick's mother.
Yeah.
Okay.
For some reason.
Yeah, I don't see why that correlation's made.
I just think that, so I'm guessing when Gwen saw in that redo fantasy, she saw all three of them. That was the assumption that this is not my fantasy. This is not all of our fantasies. Like that was the realization when she saw these other people in her fantasy.
Yeah, I just didn't understand why she thought it'd be Julia's. Like,
Well, what was Lucy Hale's character?
Melanie?
yes.
Yeah, Melanie says he always talked about how he had an overbearing mother, and then made a comment on how like his eyes and her eyes are very similar. Like she's just feeding into it,
okay,
which is
okay.
just like such BS. But that was literally the only thing.
At least there's something. I'm glad you like pieced a little bit together for me because
You're welcome.
Yeah, like
I was left with so many questions about this movie, and I want to continue before I go, but I'm just going to bring it up now. Like, Nick is in the fantasy. Like,
Yeah.
in there, people see him, either they're sleeping, and they wake up and they see him in their dreams, or they see him in reality. Like, is that really explained? Or is he just, like...
I think it's just like part of
their
fantasy.
all of their
yeah,
fantasy
it's
that
part.
plays around?
Yeah. It's getting pretty wild. So they all run to the airstrip port on the dock to get to the plane, and the plane is blown up by a rocket launcher.
Yeah, it just literally blows up, and then it pans, and you see, like, I guess they're all zombies at this point of the island, Kalashov and his men.
I saw that plane blowing up from a mile away.
Yeah.
It's like it's getting here.
Let's go. So I think Melanie's now like, yeah, there's an eternal spring of fantasy in this cave, and we should probably go destroy it.
Yep.
So they all run into the cave. Gwen starts to hear the laughter of a child.
And wouldn't you know it, everybody gets separated.
Yeah, that, like...
Yeah, they just, like, lose each
just
other.
like, how the fuck do they lose? If I'm in this cave with this group of 4, I'm like, we are daisy chaining to each other.
There's no way we get...
I go through a haunted house and hold someone's hand. I ain't going through this fucking cave of death without doing
They
that.
decided to Scooby-Doo it.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right, Jen. It's wild. This is wild. I'm heated, bro. I'm
me too.
heated.
There's just so much that I just need to, like, I want to ask the writer of this movie, like, just like to fill in some of the questions that I have, fill in some of the gaps, because I feel like this is like one of those movies where, like, you had a lot of good ideas, but you did not know how to make it work.
Yeah.
So you just threw out a lot of nice, like, cinematography and just call it a movie.
Pretty much.
So when you do ask him questions, ask him if he banged out this script in a day.
Probably. I mean, what I will, yeah, I think like he took some of these characters are like from the TV show, but it just seems like he definitely skipped and breezed over critical things that hold the movie together.
Yeah. So Patrick is going to be by himself in the snake pit, the snake water, but snakes aren't going to grab him. Hands are going to come up and grab him.
Yeah.
Whose hands are those?
Who the hell fucking knows?
No one does. Sloane is going to find a shoe, and then she gets attacked by doppelganger Sloane.
Yep.
Brax is going to find his brother, and he's just bleeding from the chest still. Like I said, it just keeps cutting. It's the fucking cut the movie.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. This is an hour. This is a long movie. This is an hour and 50. You feel it. For me, at least, I felt it because... But so much happens. So, like, when I was watching this, I'm like, I wanted to review this movie because I heard it's Blumhouse and I heard so much about it.
Yeah.
But I'm like, while I'm watching it, I'm like, this is going to be the hardest fucking movie to review.
You're never in one place for longer than 3 minutes.
You're absolutely right. It's just going to be so hard to review. There's just so much going on. And, like, how we do scene by scene, it's just... If I'd seen this movie before, I definitely wouldn't have reviewed it on this podcast. 100%.
Brax sees JD again. After experiencing him getting a freaking hole through his chest, he gets his fucking head blown.
I know.
Oh my God, that's right.
He gets his fucking head blown off in the cave, and he's like, bro, how much more torture can Brax go through with his brother?
Oh God. Because now we cut again, and we're back to Sloane being mocked by doppelganger Sloane, and then the hostile man shows up again. And then we cut again to Patrick seeing his dead dad. Then we cut back to Olsen seeing her daughter. The daughter is killing Alan. And then, like, the daughter is with Nick. And I'm like, what is happening?
I know.
Talking hella shit, too.
I'm just
It's
perpetually
fucked.
confused.
It's fucked. There's too many quick cuts. And not only that, it's just like, I think there's, like I said, there's just a lack of vision. Like, there's just too many loose holes that are not tied up. There's no cohesion in this movie.
Yeah, at least in this scene, this is when Gwen is like, Nick, tell Julia I'm sorry. And Nick's like, the fuck is Julia?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, all right, Julia's not the mother. You are not the father. Whatever. We are now in an episode of Maury.
Another plot that they could have easily just not added into the movie with being the mother. That was so stupid.
Patrick, like, drowns his own dad now. And then he turns around and sees... So this is what Dale was saying. This just happened so fast. Because then he turns around and Melanie just fucking stabs
Got him. Yeah.
Straight Shawshank Redemption, getting shanked.
And I'm just like, well, that was like...
Underwhelming.
Yeah.
Fast, anticlimactic. Or
Yeah.
all these adjectives helping to describe that scene.
Yeah.
I felt the same way.
And then Melanie's just like, So I went out with Nick once, see, and I knew me and Nick were soulmates from that very moment.
She didn't even, they had coffee and that was going to be their first date.
And they had a picture together, unless it was a Photoshop picture, which I wouldn't put past her.
Yeah, in the beginning, when she goes to her room, you see the picture of him with her, right?
Yeah.
Either Nick is like the fastest moving guy. He's like, yeah, let's take pictures and put them on your phone already. We've known each other for an hour. It's a story of two lonely people. So I digress.
Yeah, no.
There's a little like scuffle, as there always is, between the like three survivors and like Melanie telling them this information. They run away. Now Mr. Roarke is just there, and his fucking fan. We learned that Julia is his wife, and she's sick and she's dying. And so that's why she's bleeding from the nose.
It's not a shocker. You kind of...
No, that's what I was saying. Dale had actually said he had figured this out.
Yeah, like I said, you can figure this out. This is the reveal, but you can easily know that this is his wife, just like by the way this movie goes.
Yeah. And it's not even that important.
It's not. It's not, because, again, it's not a cohesive movie. Again, I would love to know how this island sustains her life. You'll never know. It's just because he needs to keep the fantasies going. What does that even mean, bro?
Yeah, Katie thought early on that Julia was the wife of Roarke, and I was like, "You sure?" And then I was like, "Wow, you're actually right."
Yeah, it just doesn't matter though, like Brian said.
But also, like you said earlier, how is this island sustaining her? And to be honest, the island's not sustaining her, because they do mention that she dies over and over and over again.
Yeah, she repetitively
so
dies.
So he keeps having to like make her again. Like the island can't like keep her from dying.
And it does, I guess, do something here, because when Roarke takes off the snake ring, she disappears.
Yeah, I just don't like...
So is it the power of the well or the power of the snake ring?
Yeah, they don't conclusively mention how and why and what
They
exactly...
They definitely don't explain it.
Triggers her reliving over and over.
Do you think like her actual soul was in the ring itself?
I'm going to say yes to everything you say, because I don't know. So yes. And you know what the crazy thing is? I looked up explanations for this movie, and you could not find one if you tried. Wow. And the reason why, number one, because it's very much overshadowed by the TV show.
Yeah.
And number two, I don't think anybody gives a fuck.
Yeah.
To explain it.
No one was deep diving it. This movie isn't like Becky, where people were fucking deep diving into like things.
There's not. I promise you. I tried, because I needed the answers to be able to do this podcast, and I got nothing for you. I couldn't even help.
Becky was also way better.
Oh my god.
Couldn't help our audience. Couldn't help our viewers, so I can't plug any of these holes. So it's like you fucking torture yourself and watch this movie, and you come up with your own conclusions.
Speaking about plugging holes, Patrick shows up like he wasn't stabbed 4 times.
Yeah.
He's just like, I'm alive.
I'm a soldier now, bitch.
Yeah. So then... Like
Patrick should have been plugging up many holes in this movie.
Oh my gosh, I respect that. Sloane then drinks the canteen water that was given to her by Damon, revealing that her subconscious fantasy is for Melanie and Nick to be together forever. That is definitely not her subconscious fantasy.
No.
Nick comes out of the well, grabs her in.
Also, like, you have to drink the water. Like, that's the... I don't know if they mentioned that earlier,
They don't,
but that is literally the first I've heard of it.
The only thing I think of, and when I thought of that too, Johnny, and this could be a reach on my part. Do you remember the joke that JD made earlier in the movie about them putting hallucinogens?
Yes,
what if they dipped the water into their drinks?
Yeah, I actually think they do make reference that their drinks were spiked at the beginning of the movie, most likely. Okay, so that makes sense.
That makes sense.
It's still stupid.
Agree. And now, like, Portia, I was going to say Portia Doubleday, her character in the movie, Sloane, gets her fantasy now?
Yeah, instantly. Instant fantasy. Because Melanie, like I said, gets pulled into the well, and then she jumps out of the well, throws the grenade, Sullivan jumps on it, and we cut to the next day, where Gwen, Brax, and Sloane are still alive, and Mr. Roarke's like, hanging up a picture of Patrick and his dad. And he's like, yeah, Patrick died. I wasn't even doing an accent. I just said it that way.
That's fine.
She definitely stabbed him.
But like, this is so fucking weird how you could trigger fantasies. Like, specific times, now Brax gets his fantasy, and his fantasy is to see JD leave safely on the plane.
Yes. Sloane and Gwen are waiting for Brax to get on the plane, but then JD's already in the front seat.
Materializes in the front. Yeah,
yes,
exactly.
He fucking Star Trek beams into the front seat of this plane, and they leave. And then they cut back, this is the whole thing I was saying. So at the beginning of the movie, JD was like calling him T.
Yeah.
And then he reveals to Roarke, Brax, that he has a tattoo that actually says tattoo.
Oh,
in the TV show, Mr. Roarke has I believe it's a midget sidekick named Tattoo.
Oh wow!
So if this movie ever got a sequel, he would be the sidekick Tattoo.
You know what's interesting?
Doesn't
wow.
Fantasy Island actually have a sequel though?
Not this movie. No.
Earlier in this movie, there is a reference where Brax mentions like he's got to get ink removed.
Yeah.
I do remember that, so he's probably mentioning that. So then Brax stays back. What happens to Brax?
Brax is now Tattoo, the midget sidekick of
So-
Mr. Roarke.
Gotcha. So
Or at least that's what
He
it
just
was in the
works there
TV
now.
show.
All right, so that's a little like a decent flair at least.
Yeah, that's fine.
That's
That's
fine.
actually a good
I
thing.
like that
It
throwback.
reflects to the TV show.
My next question.
Oh, I'm sure you have plenty.
No, I do. I have a lot. I have too many to be honest. I guess we can get into our reviews and I'll talk about it later.
Bro, does Melanie actually die?
No, she lives happily ever after in a well with Nick, apparently.
Because they didn't even show
Yeah,
her
why
death. They
not?
just showed her getting dragged under the water by Nick, and that's it.
I know.
They didn't confirm her death at all.
Literally, in this movie, technically, Patrick is the only person to die.
Die, yeah.
Yeah.
Which means I gotta give that fucker a eulogy.
Oh my god.
I mean, it's.
Oh, but
wait,
JD
which one are
technically
you giving
dies
you
too, but he
to?
comes back to life.
Yeah, so he's alive.
So he is alive.
And what were
yeah.
we saying, Jen?
The other guy. So we have Patrick and we have.
Melanie.
But I don't even know if she's dead. She
Yeah.
might just be living in a well.
Yeah. They never confirmed it.
Anyway,
I thought that meant she was dead.
I mean, it probably does. But
Yeah.
let's go into the review.
Yeah.
I originally had given this movie a 6 out of 10. I almost want to bump it to a 4, but I'm not because it doesn't deserve a 4. I'm gonna give it a 5.
okay.
Are you giving it a 4 now?
I think so.
Yeah. I probably should give it that, but I'm gonna give it a 5.
Okay.
This movie had so much potential, but it's almost like they tried too hard to do too much.
Yes. Yeah.
If they would have did less, it would have been better.
My review is simply that.
Right?
They went too deep into scope. Everything was happening too quickly. They went too deep into scope, and because they went so deeply into it, they couldn't connect their plot points.
yeah, because it was like scene,
Yeah.
scene. I was like, I'm literally getting a migraine.
And it doesn't help that the acting was bad and that it was just like honestly, it wasn't shot poorly. I don't think.
No. There was nothing wrong with the cinematography, but
No, but like for me, like I just think a lot of these characters did not do well, and the acting was bad.
The
and
story was
characters were
messy.
yeah, agreed, Jen. Agreed.
So I actually was giving this originally a 5. I actually think I'm going to bump it down to a 4. Sometimes we talk through things and it just makes you more upset.
yeah, that's what happened here.
Yeah, so yeah, I just wasn't thrilled by it. It's not the worst movie around by any means.
Oh God, no.
No, it's just it gives you a headache because there's a lot of stuff that's left unexplained and you'll get no clarity anywhere. So
No.
good
All
luck.
right. So me and Brian combined our reviews for a 5 and a 4. We'll move to Jen and then to Dale.
I'm probably also going to give it a 4 because
Yeah.
I really like when storylines like this are consecutively and coherently and like they really come together well. I think they come together with like all of them like being a part of why this guy died would have been a good come together if everything else was kind of more consecutive. I didn't even know that those guys fucking fantasy started.
Yeah. No.
I was like, how come these two have the same fantasy? Like they're not that alike. It was very confusing. But yeah, I'm gonna go to 4. I remember I watched like half of it last night and then I started to get so bored I fell asleep. So I had like an hour left and then this morning I finished it and I was like, is this done yet? Like I was just
Very
waiting for it to be done. And it didn't scare me. Like this wasn't a good horror movie.
It's not a horror movie. It's barely a horror movie.
It shouldn't be listed as a horror.
Is it classified as a horror movie?
It is.
It is. And it should
should-
be a mystery. It shouldn't be a horror.
It
Like
should be listed,
Yeah,
it
it
should be
should-
listed as
yeah.
as a suspense.
Yeah.
4 out of 10. I don't recommend. I'm not gonna watch it again. I was just waiting for it to be over.
I think I mentioned it before. Like I don't understand the triggers of the fantasies. Like the fact that you can. Why was Brax able to trigger his fantasy at the very end?
There's no rules, and I
And-
think that's a problem.
Why would your fantasy be your brother leading that? Again, that's a wish.
Why couldn't it just be both of them?
Yeah, like your review, Dell.
No, this movie's definitely getting a hot 4. Bad acting, terrible writing, so many plot holes. I would have wrote it like that the people that won this contest to come fulfill their fantasies on this island.
Would have written ass eating into the movie.
Yeah, like I would have wrote like that they got played and like they were actually living out their worst fears.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I feel like that would have been more scary,
Yeah.
especially like it wouldn't be like, you know, fulfilling your fears as like someone fears dying. So like you would be put in a scenario where you're every corner you have the potential to die.
You're faced with different things that could
Kill
cause you harm and be fatal.
But you know,
That would just be Fear Factor.
Be better than this. I actually like Fear Factor.
the movie was just all over the place, and as I was watching it, I was just like, I need this movie to be over.
Yeah.
I can't watch this anymore.
Another thing, like we were talking about earlier, like for a movie that was it felt long and was long, they didn't develop anything. So it actually should have been longer in theory.
Yeah,
I know it sounds crazy.
It's sick. All right, let's just move on to the last segment.
So yeah, hot 4 for me.
We just got to get through this.
Yes.
All right, gentlemen. Who are we nominating into our Necronomicon? I despise putting them in there, but knowing that they'll be tortured really helps.
Can we put Nick in there?
Oh, that's not bad, because Nick does die in the fire.
He does die in the fire, and
That's true.
who wants to be burned
We've seen
alive?
him maybe once.
We could put Patrick in there, but I just
Nah,
think Nick would
let's
be
do
more
Nick.
important.
I
'cause
like- yeah.
In the theory of this movie, and nothing's really important in this movie, but like he kind of
Patrick pissed me
kicks
off.
off
the
the
whole
entire plot, technically.
Yeah, I'm with Nick.
Nick, I'm going Nick.
I'm gonna go Nick because Patrick just pissed me off.
I'm gonna go Nick and keep eating my peanut M&Ms.
I respect
Shaney
it.
boy, do you have a eulogy prepared for Nick?
Of course I do. Nick, you kicked off this movie with your death. I'm gonna say some nice things about you. You were such a stunning man. A girl met you and basically thought you had been together forever off of one coffee date. You were the background to her phone. She was going to propose to you that night you died in the fire. I have no proof to back that statement up, but I feel like it would have happened. You were a great guy. You seem like your roommates liked you, even though they left you alone to die in a fire. But this movie sucked, Bri.
Yeah.
This movie sucked.
Big sucked.
You're in the book, Nick. Congrats. Never want to talk about this movie again.
We're gonna forget about you.
Yeah, we are. So that was Fantasy Island. Our January movies have been fascinating.
They have been
Yes, they have.
a roller coaster, like shit good.
So this is the thing. There's a thing called January horror movies, where in movie theaters they dump the shitty horror movies out in January just because January is a bad time for box office. And
That's pretty
when I
funny.
look at what we've reviewed so far, House of the Dead, 13 Ghosts, I personally like. Fantasy Island, ugh. But
Yeah.
next week, we finally pick it back
Yeah, we do.
up. We are doing Hereditary.
Yeah. I'm really excited for this. We've talked about doing this movie for a while. We did Midsummer over a year and a half ago.
Yeah.
So only fitting we do Ari
I'm really
Aster's
excited.
debut film eventually. He is making another movie in coming years, I think.
Yeah.
It's like a 4-hour movie
Or
or something.
I can't wait.
Are those two movies linked in some way, or it's just same director?
Same
Same
director.
director.
Okay.
But its style is the same.
Yeah.
Like, he just has the same style.
Two great horror movies, Hereditary and Midsummer.
Mm-hmm.
So, Dale, thank you for being on. Always a pleasure.
Guys, thanks for having me. I love doing the show with you guys. I can't wait to be on the next one, you know?
Yeah, I'm really, honestly, this was a new movie. We wanted you to do this movie.
Yeah.
We thought it would be hot. It would be sexy. It was horrible. Well, not horrible. It wasn't good. I don't want to like.
Furthest thing from sexy in my eyes.
Yeah, it wasn't a good movie, but thank you for being on here as always.
And Dale, now's the time to tell you. We're not saying what the movie is yet, but you are included in our 100th episode bonanza
Yep.
that we have coming
Yep.
up in March, I believe it is.
Going to be
It's gonna be
sick.
exciting.
That's going to be exciting.
Yes, it's going to be a really good time. So you will definitely be on that episode next with us. So with that said, we are the final podcast signing off, and we will see you next week in the treehouse.
I knew you were going to say that. Well done. I feel like we couldn't have it any other way.
It's a perfect little like subtle thing.
Well, thank you for spending your time with us today. We really appreciate you popping into our podcast. You can check us out every Monday, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you find podcasts. But please, 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 ensure to give us a 5-star rating on Apple Podcasts. Please follow us for all of any updates that we have at The Final Podcast on Instagram, at The Final Pod Ever on Facebook and Twitter. We're out.
We are out. See ya.
Bye.